All right. Welcome to my podcast, the Diary on Air. My name is Felice Olivia. This is my very first episode, and I'm super excited. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm super excited. It's my first episode of the Diary on Air. Again, my name is Felice Olivia. It has been quite the journey to get to this point, quite the journey for sure. And yeah, so on this episode, I don't want to, yeah, huh? He's out. Wasn't expecting that. You can close the door. Yeah. You can open the gate and then close the door. Thank you. You know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'll come get you in a second. So, yeah, it's been a journey to get to this point, and I don't really have a direction for the first episode. I just wanted to get started. You know, I I love content creation. Um, my favorite thing to watch is YouTube. Like, I watch other stuff, but I mostly watch YouTube. And, when I did start a YouTube channel some years ago, I feel like I was pretty successful with it because I understood YouTube, like because I was connected to YouTube. I feel like there are so many social media platforms that anyone can connect to. Like, some people do well on Instagram, some people do well on Snapchat or TikTok or whatever. But because I was most connected to YouTube, watching YouTube when I started a YouTube channel years ago, I was pretty successful at that. So I forgot what I was saying before, but yeah. So I wanted to start this podcast. One, to get back into content creation and to start back posting on YouTube. Of course, I'll be posting my podcast on all different platforms like, Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that, but mostly on YouTube. That's why I'm doing the video, right? So yeah, I guess we can get into, how I got to this point. Today is actually January 14th. It's 5 o'clock in the evening. And I first started getting my stuff together for my podcast back on, I believe, Black Friday. I was ordering microphones and, you know, um, interfaces and just all this stuff. Like, I was on Amazon and, the podcast kits were like on sale for Black Friday. So I was doing all this research, trying to figure out, which microphones are best and which interface. And, so I thought that I was just going to buy a microphone and get started, babe. And no, like, come to find out, like, there's so many different microphones. Like, there's the mics with there's dynamic microphones, and there's, um, what's the other one? Condenser mics. There's interfaces that have, these different keys on it to, let's see if I can pick it up. I can't pick it up. I'm not going to pick it up. They have like custom sounds in the background, those type of interfaces, and some interfaces that are just regular, just a transmitter for the sound from the mic to the computer, you know, and I just feel like I've been running in circles trying to get all this equipment for this podcast. And, I had a Canon Mark II G7X, this camera that I bought back in 2018 when I was on YouTube, which worked fine. But then I was like, oh, I need a better camera. It needs to be in 4K. And then I have an HP laptop that I bought back in 2018 when I was on YouTube. And I was like, oh, I need a MacBook Pro. So I go look at MacBook Pros and all the things that I know for a fact that when it comes to making content, you just got to do it, baby. There, like, you got to work with what you got until you can get what you want. And I knew that and I know that. However, for the past 2 months since Black Friday, I have been like a chicken with my head cut off, running around trying to find this and find that and all the things. And just adjust this camera just a bit. And I have wasted a lot of time, but everything and all in its timing, here I am. And so, yeah, I sold my camera, my Canon G7X, the other day. Um, I put it on Facebook Marketplace and I sold it for about $350. So I just woke up, and one morning I woke up. It was on a Tuesday morning, last Tuesday. I woke up and Holy Spirit was just like, put the camera on Facebook Marketplace. Within 20 minutes, I had 4 hits. This young lady, she was like, oh, I need it for a trip on Friday. Can you send it today? I'm like, yeah. And it was all the technical things that went into sending the camera. But anyway, she purchased it. I got the 350, and I ended up ordering this Sony ZV-E1 camera. And baby, it is giving what it needs to give. Okay. 4K, baby. And so I did end up getting a camera. I still have my laptop. And I'm going to work with it for now, but I definitely need the quality of this camera. I am loving it. So yesterday, I recorded a video for my other channel, which is Felice Olivia, where I'll be doing like reviews and chats and stuff like that, just talking commentary on hot topics. And I recorded a video for Ready to Love, and the quality was piss poor. And I'm like, this is an $800 camera. What the hell is going on? But there are settings on cameras that you need to adjust before you get to recording and uploading. Okay. Mind you, you have to have an SD card. And so I had an SD card, but it wasn't a 4K quality SD card. So I had to go and get an SD card like 30 minutes ago as I'm recording now. And I'm talking in circles, but I'm just saying all this to say that I'm glad to be recording. I'm glad that I got these headphones. I purchased these headphones. I actually purchased another pair of headphones that were ugly, and I sent them back and got these headphones. But prior to buying these headphones for the podcast, I had some Sony headphones that I had just got maybe a month. Yeah, a month before, like in October. And come to find out, I could have used those headphones because they had a wire to it. Like, I knew they were wireless headphones, but they also came with a wire. So I just purchased these headphones for no reason. Freak. But anyway, yeah, that happened. So I'm glad to be recording. It's just so many things I could say. I'm glad to be recording. And this is my first episode of the Diary on Air. So essentially, this is a diary entry. And I'm going to label this diary entry as use what you got, baby. Just use what you got. And we all know that. I think that, unfortunately, as Americans, especially as Americans, as people who are constantly bombarded with ads and social media promptings, all the things like in entertainment and just in our face, there's so much being pushed on us where it's like it's never enough, and we have to get more and get more and get more in order to be more and do more. And I'm a simple person. In the essence of me, I'm a simple person. And I just feel like I'm so tired of needing more to be more, you know. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels this way. And getting this podcast started, I mean, even the lighting here, I had to buy lighting and then I had to send it back because it was the wrong one. And then I had to get more. But it looks good. It looks great. However, I didn't need it, you know, to just get started. I procrastinated a lot. I procrastinated a lot. And I used the materials that I would need as an excuse to procrastinate. I also have a glass of wine here that I'm going to be drinking. I said, okay. Okay. So, yeah, we just need more and more and more. Um, I just want this podcast to be relatable. I want this podcast to be relatable. And I want it to be real and raw. I have expectations for this podcast, and one of the expectations is to connect with, licensed therapists and counselors and stuff like that, coaches, people who are educated, skilled, and experienced with things that we talk about in our diary. Get it? The diary on air. So as we're on air talking about things in our diary, I want to connect with the professionals who help people who write in their diaries. Another thing I want to say is that, of course, again, the podcast is the diary on air. I didn't mention that I'm a journaler, like I'm a big journaler, and above my head here, I have all these journals. I have like so many journals, and I love to journal to express myself and write down my emotions and talk to God that way. And people who are journalers, we're fillers, and that's why I came up with the title "The Diary on Air," because again, I just want to expose everything that's in the diary on air, right? Like, let's not keep it a secret anymore. I mean, some things, but let's talk about it because no, we're not alone. I'm rambling. And as I say that we're not alone, that's another thing that I want to achieve with this podcast is to let everyone know that you're not alone, that the things that you're feeling, somebody else is feeling too, somebody else is going through it too. I mean, you would just be surprised. I'm a hairstylist and I have customers, I have clients, and there's a situation that's going on in my life that is it's a random thing, right? And one day I had two clients come in and they had the same exact situation going on or had happened in their life that was a monumental part of their life, just like it is a part of my life. And I was just like, I tell people all the time as a hairstylist, like, because of my faith journey when it came to opening my salon suite. And I knew that God was the one who was going to take care of me in that business. I knew that my clients would be ordained for me and me for them. And it wasn't just like a transactional, it wasn't going to be transactional relationships, but it was definitely going to be divinity, like divine orchestrated meetings between me and certain women. And, again, there's the thing that's going on in my life that two of my clients have experienced, like almost identical. And it just moved me so much because I was just like, wow, I'm not alone in this situation where it seems like something so crazy. Like, this is so crazy to experience. Like, I'm not alone. And it always feels good to know that you're not alone in this big, crazy, strange, like terrible, dramatic, drastic, just toe up world, And it's good to feel like you're not alone, because when you feel like you're alone, then you isolate and then things go bad quickly. Okay. So yeah, anyway, so I, the podcast is to let people know that you're not alone. All the crazy things, the good things, the bad things, the over the top things, the underwhelming things, and overwhelming things. Like, you're not alone. And yeah, so I'm just going to end it here. I think that's enough to say for now. And I look forward to connecting with so many people. I look forward to connecting with so many people and, sharing my experiences. And, as time grows, and, some of you can share your experiences with me. And I just am so excited. But this is my first video, my first podcast episode. And yes, it just keep it short and simple, 16 minutes, and we'll just leave it there for now, just to say we did something, just put it out, just to get it started. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you on the next episode of The Diary on Air with Felice Olivia. Bye.